Hello, everyone. Patrick the Progressive here with Eli Ritter of TNU News and Anthony Diggs of Veterans Stand. So today we're going to be talking about the importance of independent media, and first we're going to start off with everybody getting to introduce themselves. Anthony, would you like to start this off?
Yeah, sure. My name's Anthony Diggs. I am the CEO of Veterans Stand, and we're a nonprofit organization that moves to ease the transition from military to civilian life. We do advocacy for veterans, and our first real big organized mission was Standing Rock in December of 2016. And yeah, we're keeping active, expanding our organization and our network, and keeping our heads in some good work.
Sounds great. I'm sure everyone's familiar that's listening in with the Standing Rock incident, so if they don't know, it's an easy thing to look up and learn about. We've shared that enough on our page as well. Eli, would you like to give a little intro about yourself as well?
Yeah, for sure. My name's Eli Ritter, and I'm the editor-in-chief, and I guess you could say founder of the New Union, which covers news, politics. We also have a history page up as well. And it is a media organization, nonprofit, built on unbiased quality journalism.
Fantastic. And I think Dean just joined us as well. Dean, are you there?
Hi, Patrick. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Wow.
No, I'm glad you got in here. I wasn't sure if you're going to be able to join us today.
I know. Quite the hassle, my friend. Quite the hassle. So
technology.
So, yes. So I've written quite a few pieces. So I've written like 2 pieces for you at Burning Media.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a fringe account of my own. It's called expect_us1. I don't even know if any, I don't know, some might be familiar. I know Patrick is. But yeah, and I've been very politically active since the Bernie Sanders campaign. And I know how important independent media is. I think Patrick knows. I one time went to a meeting with a conference with Amy Goodman, who's like the face of independent media in America. She's the host of Democracy Now! Many of you probably are familiar with it listening. And I learned a lot from that, and I look forward to expressing about it in the future. Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Amy's a great journalist as well. She's one of my favorite out there. So, Anthony, what's something that you find very important about independent media? What's something that you think we need out there?
Well, I mean, something that really interests me coming into this conversation is really what everybody's definition of independent media is. But yeah, I mean, I feel like independent media is super important for the reasons that we all know, like political and corporate interest and funding, and maybe more things that we might not know about, like what is the effect of seeing bombs dropped on Syria 20 seconds before a Doritos commercial, and like what does that do to us? But yeah, I mean, I'm really interested to hear what everybody's idea of independent media is, and because yeah, absolutely, it's important and we need it, but I think it's also important for us to kind of like set the tone and what it is we're talking about.
Yes, absolutely agree. And one of the things some people come on our page and say is, well, how are you independent media if you're always like posting progressive news? And one of the things that we try to make out is Burning Media is independent in the terms of we don't take corporate money and we're corporate free. Like that is our stance on it. We're always a progressive leaning outlet, but we attack on both ends of the spectrum. So it's a little confusing at times. But that's basically how we try to make it clear on our aspect on our end.
Cool, man. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's where we all stand. And Eli, you have anything about TNU or what you've done in the past with UBC in the terms of importance of independent media?
Well, I've been doing this for about a year now, just alongside doing school, and well, you guys are doing awesome with having different sides and different leanings and whatnot. I think my particular mission is focused on having unbiased media, right, with just factual, objective media with analysis, of course, but analysis that's also objective and just kind of looks at the facts, especially in such a time when media is so chaotic and there's so much kind of thrown to the wind and it's unknown, and you got to cut through that, and that's what the new union aims to supply.
Absolutely, and this is something that we also need, because we do see a lot of either left leaning or right leaning. There's not always enough of just factual information out there without some sort of bias on it. So it's always something that people are looking for.
Mhm.
And then, Anthony, what are you currently working on this summer in your terms of Veteran Stand or anything like that?
Well, over at Veteran Stand, well, the projects that we have coming up, one of them deals with a campaign to raise awareness on cannabis and how that can be used to treat symptoms related to PTSD and traumatic brain injury. And we have like a general awareness campaign going on right now with the Vans Warped Tour. It's an activation called Transform. And in each city that the festival stops at, we bring in local artists, local organizers, and organizations. They get a chance to interact and speak and deal with the crowds there. And, we're just raising awareness on local issues, as well as, the Water is Life, No Dabble, Standing Rock movement that we've been involved with since December.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No, that's really great.
You guys know who Gil Scott-Heron is?
I haven't heard.
I was gonna say it's not ringing a bell, but I'm sure if you describe him, I'll know if I've heard of him or not.
He's a singer from like the 70s and the 80s, but he has that jam, "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised."
Yes.
Really cool
That's
song.
a great saying.
And I think what that says too, like independent media and the need for independent media. It's pretty profound and timeless. And one of the things that I was thinking of when you were saying, like, let's talk about the importance of independent media is like also, and this is what my organization is kind of involved in, but, creating an environment that, like just as much as we need independent media, we need independently thinking people, independent thinkers, and we need to be able to create an environment where, when we receive information, we feel like empowered and brave enough to question that information. And I want to know what you guys thought about that, because like it's one thing for us to deliver the truth to people, or to do our best job at delivering news without a bias, but it's another thing for like, what do people do when they get that information, and the ways that we deliver this information to people, like is that like the television, for example, like the revolution won't be televised, like is that because
Absolutely.
corporate media won't allow it to be, or is that maybe because like we've been historically, like we get like sci-fi fantasy drama from the television, so like are we even capable of like interpreting and accepting the things that we see through the television as like really happening out there, the internet even, like I really do wonder, because like we have things, like someone mentioned earlier, Amy Goodman and the journalism that she does with Democracy Now, and then we have things like WikiLeaks and like so much information that is out there and accessible to us, but how do we set the stage so that when we deliver this information to people, when we do our journalism, how do we make this acceptable? How do we create the environment where people are able to?
Right.
Patrick. Probably be delivering a solution, a way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for rambling.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, all good. I was trying to get my mic unmuted for a second there. But one of the things that I think we need to do is show people the resources of where to go for research and how to look into stuff for themselves and, learn for themselves. Because the stuff we put out there is just the tip of the iceberg. There's always more for our followers, no matter what spectrum it is, for them to learn more of. There's always something more to find out through research, and that's something we need to, help out through this. Because I think, now there's so many different sites out there where you can stumble across satire, and some people don't always catch on to the satire, I don't think. I think that was a big problem with our election this year. I think there was some stuff out there that was misinformation that we all know this, we accept this. It's just, was it really misinformation, or was it people just not doing the research and, taking it for what it really was?
I think that there's ways to help with that. Like, one thing is sort of a verification system, and maybe we can't actually get verified and whatnot on social media. And even then, people who are verified on social media will spread fake news. But to create our own verification system where we're like, okay, this means that if you're verified, then you are presenting, something that's not satire. You're presenting legitimate journalism, whether it be one of the ones leaning left or right or unbiased. And I think that's, I think that's one place where Instapress can come in. And people listen about that yet, but I think that's one of the aims of that, is to say this is a legitimate source. You can use this. You won't be brought into sad.
Is that what the little check mark means?
Yes, the blue gold check marks.
Right, yeah.
Yep, that's what we have.
So I'm kind of confused. What do you mean by satire news? Like, can you give me an example?
Well, we're talking in the way of The Onion, and so not you saw. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So in those terms, like I can't think, not the Daily Beast, but there's some other satirical sites out there that try to list themselves as progressive or leftist news pages, but really they're meant to be satirical pages. I think most of them got purged and taken down with the like on the Facebook wise was where most of them were. I don't think they had actual websites. But I mean, that's one of the things.
Yeah, another big reason for like us, independent media is one thing, but independent media can be progressive, or it could be really conservative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think as us as progressives, I think like us as progressives, it's very important that we spread the facts, because if you look online right now, you see it covered with right-wing people. Like, you got Milo, you got Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro. They're all over the place.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Alex Jones, they're all over the place. And I think it's more, and I think they're spreading a wrong message. And I think it's very important for us, for more people to get involved, on the left. Because it's the independent media, the media, right, like radio, for instance, is just, it's like covered in right-wing people, right-wing hacks.
Yes.
So like, and they take themselves as independent. They pose themselves as independent, but they're really not. They're really probably backed by some very rich donors.
Yeah.
And so it kind of does a disservice to the citizens, because they think, hey, that this guy, he's not the mainstream media. He's just, regular Joe Blow, spreading the truth. But, they're really not. They really are, corporate backed.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty big issue, and it kind of goes back to what Eli was saying, that like, having some, system of, verifying people to say, like, this is not satire, this is not quote unquote fake news, or whatever it is people want to call it. because maybe, like, you know, as journalists, we have a responsibility to show people the news, but like maybe we have a moral responsibility to not tell people what to do with the news, because, you know, it's like you're saying, you know, there are a lot of people who are saying, oh yeah, I'm independent. They could be on the far right, they could even be on the far left, like whatever side.
Right.
But, you know, when bias does get involved, and, you know, when we talk about being bias free and, you know, freeing ourselves of bias, like, what does that really mean? Like, boiling down to what? Like, at some point, culture is going to get in the way. It's, you know, like, we need to, like, I don't, that's a big issue, you know, because sometimes I'll even watch someone like the Young Turks, and I'm like, okay, you know, like, you know, what you're saying is one thing, how you are saying it is another, and the prescribed solution that you are giving is probably destructive, you know, left to right. Like that's a big issue that we're dealing with, is, you know, newscasters fancying themselves experts, as if, you know, to have access to information is the same as consuming information, and consuming information is the same as, like, understanding it. So yeah, you know, like the news, like, let's show people what is happening. Let's have conversation. Like, the realest nightly news you could get is from your next door neighbor, and we should just spread it on out from there, because it does get to a point where even people that, you know, us in this conversation may agree with, you know, we can, you know, we can end up at odds with each other based off of who we are listening to, when ultimately we're trying to achieve the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. You know, this is a little off topic, Patrick, but I just had a question. Why do you think Burning Media got taken down for a little bit?
I think Patrick is actually not here right now.
I think we just lost him, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I wanted to ask him about that too, because I think they got the Instagram account back.
They did.
Okay, they did.
They did. It was great.
Yeah. No, I was definitely happy to see that. Oh, here,
Patrick,
go.
I had a question. Oh, he left again. Oh, he better edit this out when it comes to the live stream.
I bet he will.
I hope he does.
I think we're live now still, aren't we?
We're live now? You're kidding.
Yeah, it says live in the top right corner there.
Live.
Oh, Patrick, you there?
In effect.
I will press the link and see if we're actually live. Oh. Well, for anyone viewing, we apologize for this.
Going back to that, the revolution will not be televised song. Play that right now, like some elevator music in the.
Oh yeah, like with the experiencing technical difficulties and
exactly
the screen.
Exactly.
Just put some music behind it.
There we go.
Oh, finally.
I don't know what just happened. All of a sudden, I stopped hearing everybody, and then it kicked me out and reloaded.
Yeah, we weren't talking about much. There was a long moment of silence, and then I wanted to ask you, Patrick. I just wanted to ask, why do you think Burning Media got taken down?
Well, I mean, there was supposedly there was a glitch with, you know, a bunch of accounts were taken down or disabled for a bit, but they didn't list any reasons. Like, it didn't verify why our account was disabled. Other people's accounts were saying they were locked out. Our accounts were saying we were disabled completely. So that we were having a different error message than most people were getting. And this happened 2 days before we were supposed to announce our march against corruption in Chicago. And most of our followers are from Chicago. Not most of them. A large majority of our following is from Chicago.
How many people were there? Like, could you give an estimate?
I didn't make it because I had GPS issues. So Sean, our head editor, made it up there because I was supposed to pick someone else up from Union Station.
Oh, yeah, I know Sean.
Yeah, Sean's the one that was up there. So we actually postponed it because right then we also realized that we were competing with the Taste of Chicago via the weekend that I originally wanted to do, which was July 4th weekend. To make it more of a, an actual true march against corruption on, the day of independence, when everyone was getting plastered and not knowing why we're celebrating what we're celebrating.
Right.
So why do I think it was taken down? For sure, I want to hope it was because of the glitch. I don't want to think it was some censorship. But
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because I mean, that's why the IMU was formed between me, us, UBC News, TNU, Bernie Bucky Barnes, to help defend independent media.
Is Bernie Bucky Barnes going to join?
She hasn't responded back to the group messages from what I have seen, so I do not think she will be joining us, sadly.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to talking to her because she's like the biggest fan of Expect Us.
Oh, yeah, no, she's all over it. That's why I'm surprised she wasn't in here. That she saw the messages, though, but busy bee.
That's right.
Everyone's busy nowadays. But yeah, so that's basically it. When I woke up today, I got an email saying that we were reactivated to log in and let them know if I had any issues, but it logged in first try. It took away like a bunch of our reach. Like currently we're at overall reach we've had is 800K versus the 3 million we had before we got taken down. So I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, so that's basically all that was. That was only 4 days we were down.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That would have been a real pity.
Oh yeah, I was already furious. So I mean, I couldn't imagine if it wasn't going to come.
I could just tell by the change in your demeanor in the stories you were posting on the backup account.
Yep, I was just like, oh, we're gonna get this back. Oh, we're gonna. But no, that's basically how that is. I'm glad it got resolved. I don't know if any other accounts experienced it today or got their stuff back. So I know Freedom Faction, they had a bunch of their posts just getting taken down. They didn't get logged out or anything, but a bunch of their posts were getting removed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah, it was. That's why I was surprised. So.
Okay. So you got any questions on the table?
Right now, I'm trying to pull up the IMU website so we can show that if... hold on, there we go. There we go. I got it. Let's try this.
Hey.
Where's my screen share?
I have to update the member list for sure, but yeah. I have to make the adjustments with the UBC split.
Eli, what account do you own again? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. TNU News and TNU Politics, and then we also have TNU History.
And Anthony's for the vets, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with Veteran Stan.
That's great.
Okay, so here we go.
How many followers does TNU have?
What, TNU?
Combined, we have around 1,500, a little bit over.
Cool. Patrick, how many people are viewing your the live stream?
Right now? I don't think it tells me. It's not showing me how many we've had overall right now. Right now we have about 2 watching.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to get a lot. I mean,
yeah, this is only our second live stream we've done on YouTube. I've just recently found out how for us to stream. Oh, God. I loaded us up and I heard it. Oh, no.
Wow.
Yeah, here's the TNU politics stuff. But that's the IMU organization page, so if you see this, you should all go and check it out.
Well, I'm going to check that out right now.
It's newer page and everything. And then, you know, TNU, obviously, check them out. I mean, come on. Got a bunch of great articles on here. Boom.
I think there's a glitch on our news page. You're on the Instagram page.
Yep, I'm on the news page, yeah.
On the website, there's a glitch which I need to fix. The top news article is like pushed down for some reason.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know why.
you got it all taken, put down, yeah. So do you do HTML or do you do it through just your normal on there?
We do it through Wix.
Okay.
Everything is custom though. We didn't do any template whatnots. So
No,
Sean is our.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Hmm?
Oh, Sean is our editor, right?
Yes.
Got it. You guys
Sean,
know each other like in person? Or?
yeah. Well, no, he lives an hour away from me. We have yet to meet
You'll
though.
eventually meet him.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. We thought we were a little over 2 hours at first, honestly, but then we typed it in.
Right.
So it's.
Okay. We got a weird image popping up.
yeah.
I know, right? Look at that. What's
You
going
entered the
on?
Matrix.
I broke it. Hold up here. I don't even. Hey, look, it's our real original Instagram account. Wow, thanks Instagram for not being bullies of the internet, not nice people,
Yes.
bad hombres. What else can I do here? Rapists, murderers, and we need a big
Patrick.
big wall
Okay.
around Instagram is all I'm saying.
Patrick, how many views do you get per story?
Per story, it can be up to a little over 2,000 to 3,000 at a time.
Gee, with the amount of followers we have, I think a lot more.
That's because I don't really use the stories that much either, though. That's something I've just started doing
That's not
more
true,
of.
Pat. That's not true. You
Well-
post stories every day.
Yeah, but not like a bunch of those website ones to link them up to. I don't. The live streams we used to get way more views on, but we need to make those more of a thing onto our Instagram again, because that I haven't done. I want them to make it where you can have two people in a live stream at the same time on Instagram. That would be
The
a cool one.
Instagram live stream sucks. Like the
Yeah.
system they have is awful.
Yeah, because I've messed around with it. That's why I haven't done it in a while. Plus, my tripod for my phone broke, so I just don't feel like holding it like that the whole time.
Mhm.
But man, hold up here. I'm still. Hey, look, Instapress.
Hey,
Is journalism.
what I'm gonna be putting all that onto IMU. I'll make the home of Instapress on the on IMU.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just make a tab for it.
Cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Eli, how long has INU been around?
Since Burning Media's account went down, about thereabouts.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's gonna get
No.
good.
Yeah, no,
So
it's a
that'd be
fresh
good.
one. But
Yeah, and you guys can all, like, whoever's in the thing can access the Instagram. I think that's what we said. I don't know. But Patrick, if you wanted don't you have the login, Patrick? If you
no,
need-
actually, I didn't get that login for that yet.
Okay, I can do that to you.
Let's give it right here live over the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send it to you in DM.
So yeah. So Patrick, speaking of Chicago politics and Chicago corruption,
Chicago.
Thomas Wolfe has a chance.
I hope so. He's got. If I could vote for him in my district, I would. He's all for a progressive tax plan. He's for legalization, which we have a bill for in Illinois currently for recreational. We have medical in our state
What's his
currently.
view on healthcare?
He is for single payer.
Okay, that's great.
So I
Yay.
would say he's pretty top notch for he's got his head on straight.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to set up another interview with him in the city, and we're gonna actually try and go up to his campaign office now that he's got it open. It's up in the Ukrainian village up there.
Yeah, I've never been to Chicago.
It's not as bad as they try and make it.
Yeah.
I've made it up there plenty of
I think
times,
your,
and
your
I'm
mayor,
alive.
though, I think your mayor though has got to go.
Ram,
Yeah.
yeah, he's got to go. Ram and Ram, Madigan, and Ron are all can go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our governor is a Republican in a blue state, and he can't accomplish anything because
There's only 18 in the union. There's only 18. There's only 18 Democratic governors.
Mm-hmm. Well, plus we got wiped out. I mean, okay. Sidetrack real fast. Did you see the Democrats' new poster stickers and stuff that they're voting for 2018?
No, I have not.
It was she persisted. There was make Congress blue again. There was there was another that said, I mean, have you seen the other guys? Literally, that was the quote they went with on a poster. Have you seen the other guys?
By all means, we want to take seats away from the Republicans, but we want to fill them with progressives, not with hacks.
They need to be pro. What they need right now is messaging that's they don't need to inform people that the person in the White House is an idiot. Okay, they don't need to do that. Everyone knows that already. They need to do is say they need to have pro-democratic slogan, pro-democrat. It should be their thing, not anti-Republican. We're sick of it.
No, not pro-democrat, pro-progressive.
There you go. Pro-progressive, but be pro for their party, not negative against the other party. It's not going to work. Everyone already knows that he's an idiot, but they're going to say, well, what can you offer? What are you going to offer instead?
Yeah, Eli, it's all about making a concrete platform.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. You can win.
Oh, no, go on.
Oh, sorry. You can win as a popular liberal, Justin Trudeau in Canada won on a wave of liberalism. It was almost the exact opposite of the States.
But he turned out not to
won a majority in Parliament. Yeah, and he's gonna win the next election most likely if nothing major bad happens.
He's a very, and when I hear him talk though, he is a very, very sharp speaker. Very, very he's just a great leader. Natural.
Oh, I definitely love him, and it's funny because I didn't even vote for him, but if I could go back, I would change. I voted NDP, which is more in line with the Democratic Socialist parties.
You know what? Your vote was right.
You voted what you wanted. You thought it was. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do.
Because he's very pro Keystone XL pipeline.
Yes.
That's the bad thing. It's he's kind of corporate. He's.
Well, he's done other pipelines so far too, right? He's approved as well, I believe. Don't quote me on that one because I thought I'd read some other articles in regards to him okaying the building of some pipelines. Besides,
he has approved some. He's approved some and dropped others, which is, I think, where I would probably disagree with you guys. I think it's good for Canadian economics to have some built and some not built. Keystone XL was essential to the Canadian economy, and Obama was stopping it, and that was the one good thing that came out of Trump.
The building of the Keystone XL pipeline. That was the one thing that came good out of Trump.
Okay, so how about if instead of that pipeline, we replace that pipeline with something in terms of some renewable energy, so to say, instead of a pipeline? Would that have been something you would have been okay with as well?
I mean, yeah.
Eli,
you there?
Yeah, because
Wait, he's not talking.
I don't think pipelines. We already have enough pipelines as is. So I mean, I see where you're coming from in
Oh my God, I
terms of
could show
the
you a
economy.
chart. I think you've posted this before.
Oh, I did a
There's a
7-page
chart.
article on fracking and stuff in the pipeline spill.
Oh my
so
God, I
it's
remember
out
already.
there. Yeah, that's a long
No,
one.
no. You posted, I think, a chart like a while back of all the pipelines in America.
Oh yeah,
And it
they
was
were
like,
they
it was
spilt.
everywhere.
Yeah. Oh no, I forget how much spills each year in terms
Yeah.
of the
this is
pipeline.
I mean, I would
This is
say
just-
the idea that the Keystone XL pipeline is good for the Canadian economy shadows in comparison to the fact that it plays into the continued genocide of Native American people.
Oh yes.
And in violation of several human and civil rights and treaty rights.
It looks good in the short term, but in the long term, it doesn't.
And then in the terms of the protesters that come from it because there's a very strong angst against these things getting built nowadays because we see the damage that gets done. So I mean, you saw from the DAPL protest, Tiger Swan, their private security firm, they were in there without the proper permits, from what I saw from an Intercept article. That's not okay.
Oh God, yeah. By the way, speaking of independent media and all that, the code access pipeline was ignored.
That was the biggest thing. That was the media didn't touch that one bit. People getting sprayed in freezing weather with water. Yeah, didn't hear that on the news.
Mm-hmm. A big thing Amy Goodman has talked about in her years being a journalist is going to where the silence is.
Yeah.
For instance, the Chevron, Nigeria, and they were murdering people with backed by the U.S. with and there was also the what's it called, the genocide in East Timor that the U.S. was backing, that she went to there both times, and she also went to DAPL, to where they were building it.
And at DAPL, she got charged, right, this last time?
Yes. Yeah. I think Jill Stein actually got arrested.
Did she? I was gonna say, I'm not sure. I know she was there though.
I know Jill Stein definitely got a warrant, fined or something, and then she has protested paying the fine. I had the same thing happen to me out there. I was given a $500 fine, and I just haven't paid it and don't plan on paying it, and hope that if anything comes of it, it'll start a good conversation. But yeah, I mean, like you were saying, major news networks not paying attention to what was happening at Standing Rock. And then you look at who owns or who has influence over the Bismarck Tribune, and you find out that they have an interest in Energy Transfer Partners profiting as much as possible. There's a lot of BS going on, and then a whole lot of non-reporting going on as well. And I mean, we're talking about the importance of independent media. Well, that's kind of case in point where it's needed the most. Yeah, like you're saying, I've never heard that saying, "Go where the silence is." But
oh yes,
but that's awesome. I like that a lot.
We lost Eli.
I know. I think we had turned him off with our talk about the pipeline.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Sorry, Eli.
I didn't mean it.
No, I mean, I totally meant it. And but these are the conversations that we need to have. We don't need to be shaming or persecuting each other. But it's if he thinks that, the oil pipeline being, central to the Canadian economy or whatever, I would like to hear more about that and how.
Yeah, I'd like to hear him talk about how the effects on the economy will have in the next decade.
Exactly. And then it's kind of funny to think why would a nation have to send in the National Guard to do something that's in the best interest of its economy?
I'm sorry, my right-wing friends, but that's fascism. Fascism, as Benito Mussolini described it, is the merging of the private sector and the public sector, and I mean the government, and that's basically what happened there.
Oh yeah, yeah. It
No,
was crazy,
absolutely
man.
is.
It was absolutely nuts. And I mean, yeah, to see like literally every agency imaginable, FBI, Homeland Security, state troopers, forest rangers, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, all of these different agencies converging on like taxpayer dime
Hmm.
to essentially
I mean,
silence the violation
I
of
mean,
human and civil rights.
yeah, I really wish Eli was still in the chat because I'd love to ask him this. I'd love to say, I know Bernie Sanders proposed a $1 trillion investment into the infrastructure, but we don't need it in these pipelines.
Absolutely, it's a
We have enough
dying
problems
industry.
with our infrastructure to begin with. We don't need more infrastructure to have
Mhm.
more problems.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know.
Eli said he had some major internet outages, but he was also had to go at 10 o'clock either way. I know he mentioned too.
Yeah, that's yeah, when it comes to internet, I guess that's one way America is better than Canada.
Show me those statistics. Show,
Yes,
show me this. It's fake news. Fake
yes.
news.
Very funny. Very funny.
Bringing fake news onto here.
Where does he live in Canada?
I want to
I'm
say
I'm guessing.
Toronto.
Yeah, me too.
I
I'm guessing
want to
like
say
Toronto,
Toronto.
Ottawa,
Toronto?
Toronto, Ottawa, something like that.
Yeah.
He's in Central Time though because he just said he had to get off at 10.
No, he's Eastern.
Oh, he is? Then definitely Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto or Ottawa.
Yeah, one of those. My old original guy that was for our website, Adam, he was from Ottawa, and he's a big part of our whole team. He kind of just disappeared out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If anything big comes up, by the way, in the news, I'll definitely put out another article for you.
Oh, fantastic. It's always open. Emails are always there. So, if you just ever even just get a niche.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the Dakota Access Pipeline is one thing, but that Keystone Pipeline, that thing is huge.
Yeah, that thing's a huge, that's a long ass pipeline. Like anyone that looks at that is going to be like, wow, that thing's going to leak in, let's say 8 different places.
Mm-hmm. I
In
mean,
the
the
first
Dakota
half.
Access Pipeline is like freaking nothing compared to that.
Yeah. And what
It's just
that's
the thing
already
with the
leaked.
Dakota Access Pipeline is it's like it's affecting Native Americans.
Yeah.
who
Oh,
are-
those they don't matter though. Remember, I mean, come on, it's 2017, right? We're still taking away land. That's our mindset, right?
Mhm.
Not
Well, you
maybe
know what?
not ours, but our government's.
Well, we are supporting Israel and the illegal
Yeah.
occupation there.
Yes, we are. They get how much of our tax money a year? I forget. It's like 1 trillion or something. I want to say.
Oh, it's not that much. No,
No,
nothing
maybe
close to
maybe
that.
maybe that
No,
was
I think
combined. Hold on, let me find this again. I think it might have been a
I think it
5-year
was like
or
38
something.
million a year. Like
Yeah,
38, something like that.
I'll hold you to that one.
38 billion.
Yeah,
38
we'll
billion.
go with that one. That sounds like a safer one. I think the one that I was looking at was one of the ones adding them up over
Like
the
a
years.
decade or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, interesting. So yeah.
Oh man,
Me in the White House, and we
we
need
do
a
have
fourth
a loony.
estate, and we need a fourth estate.
Like, that's just.
And the good thing about Trump's attack on the media is kind of going against what he's doing. But, it's just they're still focusing way too much on Russia, saying way too much on just BS.
Russia.
They could
What about the DNC lawsuit? What about the DNC lawsuit? Why aren't they talking about that? Am I right?
Oh, well, I wouldn't count on them to talk about that. Like that.
Oh, we lost Anthony too.
Oh my God, Anthony.
What the? And then there were 2.
And then there were 2. Well, Pat, are we gonna call it?
Yeah, I was just about to say we might as well call it for this round. We can set up another one
Next time, I think it'll be much better.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it was just a short notice thing we did. I'd like to plan them out ahead of time more. So, yeah, it's been a good live stream. Thanks for everyone who joined us.
Have a good night, Pat.
Hey, you too.
Talk to you soon.
Bye bye.